Before we can understand America in 2020, we have to understand what it meant to raise a boy in this country just 65 years prior. In the summer of 1955, a 14-year-old boy would step into a grocery store in Monee, Mississippi and encounter a 21-year-old woman named Carolyn Bryant. Carolyn would accuse this boy of yelling vulgar language at her, grabbing her waist, and wolf whistling at her. This boy's name was Emmett Till, and the painful fallout from this encounter would galvanize the civil rights movement. Carolyn's accusation was incendiary. It violated the rules of contact between a black man and a white woman in the Jim Crow-era South. So Carolyn's husband and brother-in-law decided that they would take justice into their own hands. They armed themselves, invaded Emmett's uncle's house, and abducted him. This would be the last time that Emmett would be seen alive again, and the details are horrifically infamous. A lynching in which they cut off his tongue, privates, one eye left hanging out of its socket, and then the body dumped into the Tallahatchie River. Again, Emmett was only 14 years old. But a true hero in this story is Emmett's mother, Mamie. In a defining catalyst to the civil rights movement, Mamie decided that she would bury Emmett in an open casket funeral so that the entire world can see what these two men did to her boy. And it worked. These images horrified a nation. It was the visual manifestation of a disease that the country could no longer look away from. But despite being reported worldwide, an all-white, all-male jury would still acquit Carolyn's husband and brother-in-law after a single one-hour debate. 4 months later, the two men would brag about the details of the murder to the press. But also at that time, Rosa Parks would refrain from moving to the back of a bus citing Emmett as key inspiration. The movement had begun. Now let's fast forward all the way to 2017. Because it's at this time that very same Carolyn Bryant would confess that she lied about Emmett yelling at her or grabbing her waist at all. You see, to really understand Amy Cooper in 2020, you have to know who Carolyn Bryant is in 1955, because far too often, things don't change.
There is an African-American man I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.